One thing in the past I've been burnt on with the blob process of blob to image URL is that we do create image URL with the blob, but we actually, and this is what happened to me in the past, is that I never revoked that URL, and because I never revoked it, Chrome just sort of filled up with all these URLs that was never cleaning up. Um, and I was doing that map tiling stuff where I had the blob data for the map tiles and I was storing them all in IndexedDB. And then they would come off IndexedDB and I would create the blob URL from those tiles. And you can imagine, like, as you zoom in and out, there's like tons and tons of tiles that are loaded all the time, and all these URLs would be generated, but I wasn't cleaning it up. And like, I would get these weird cases where like they would just stop working. I was like, what the hell is it? It's like, the hell's going on? And it was such an arbitrary thing because I think it's what you're talking about, like the disk. It's like it was hammering the disk. It was keeping these things around. Yeah. Is it? I just loaded up the MDN. Right. Oh gosh, that's so weird. Working draft. There's a bunch of new changes coming to the file API. Um, Pretty soon, I think. I'm not sure what, but I think a lot of stuff to do with like loading files from disk, like Chrome or the browser can start giving you access to like the hard drive. But it's just one of those weird things that you just hit these sort of almost computer limits that are completely subjective to everyone's individual machine. Yeah, man. I don't want to keep you. I don't want to keep you here. But I'll follow. I should stick with the hotline stuff. It's pretty interesting. If it wasn't always like, oh my god, this shit's on fire right now, especially when it's like, yeah. I mean, this must be hard for you to like get your headspace back into like something like CUAS when you're just like blasted by these fires here. Oh, thanks for asking. She's I've got her on a kitty cam. I got one like an old iPhone, and I installed like a little webcam viewer. So I've got her load. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So she likes being on the bed in the bedroom. So, but I can monitor from the desk. Um, she's got every week she gets a bandage change, and she's a bit depressed, honestly. Um, they can actually see like she's just like mopey and like so. I've been trying to think of like ways to cheer her up, and like I got her like a baby Bjorn, like those sacks. Just made one out of a sheet. Yeah. When I go on a walk, she goes on a walk. Cat dad. Oh no, it's training. Oh god. Yeah. Apparently we have to do physical therapy. Like, yeah. Like I don't know. It was a serious thing. I could not have anticipated that was something that happened. I've lived with pets kind of all my life. They've always been under tow, and somehow have managed to avoid them. And this time, just like it's terrifying. The food. She's this only animal like outside of a dog that I've known that's just so ravenous for food. Just her mind is all she thinks about. I know, I know. How are you doing? Oh, where? No. Are you Taiwanese, Max? Ding Tai Fon. Yes. Oh, thank you. No, I have not been there. Um, let's see. Oh, this looks freaking luxury. Oh my god. Yeah. Dim sum, dim sum style. There's food, yeah, right. Menus, and they present it to you. I mean, I love that. I love the experience of that. Everything comes individually prepared. It's such a. Do they rush you once you're in there to like? That's. Mm. I miss going to restaurants, and I miss nice service. Like, one thing I'll say about the quarantine is that it's just become an excuse, and I feel some ways just to get you out faster. And I like taking my time, especially when you at a restaurant like that. I mean, but now you can take all the time you want by making them at home. So you're getting good. You're getting good at the cooking. Do you guys make a fair batch and then eat that for lunch and but not so super. Um. Oh. I will. I will. I'll certainly come down once I get this vaccine. I'm gonna get on a plane and come down to Andrew, stay at some holiday. No, I don't think so. I should probably look into this like expired vaccine business that's going on, like the vaccinations one. Zoc. That Andrel is a tier 1C. Oh shoot. Okay, very cool. Yeah, I'm really. I want to look into this. I want like this to pass me by. You know. I mean, it's kind of different in Oliver, California. Someone was saying that like San Francisco has particular releases for if you're overweight or something like that, or like there's like BMI indexes and all this. Um, but this tier 1's. Yeah, I think having some time to work down in Southern California with you guys would be good, really good. Are you? Yeah. Third party assets. Now, yeah. Ooh. For this demo at Wismer, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a third party physical assets, but there's I think the next step is like at some point to get down to the test of CTS and fly, guess the drones around, and that'd be a nice time to be. Yeah, I think it was opened my eyes to like a little bit of the work that we're doing. Just, right now it's all just like it's VS Code and simulations within simulations. They are. It's I have sort of a. It's mostly backend stuff, yeah. I mean, there's a sort of a pain point in the application, and I had to sort of uh, check in with Elsa and be like, I'm struggling a little to come up against this desire to fix and rewrite this thing because that's this component this 1,600 lines long. It takes me 5 hours to like make an update to because there's so many interconnected pieces of state all around the application. And he's like, man, just get the functionality in, and we'll have a chance to sort this all out. So he's a good PM because he just is very open to just these sanity checks and be like, yeah, because it was I didn't make like a thing by Friday, and it wasn't a make or break thing because the back end wasn't ready either. So. It was just one of those pieces where we all needed to communicate a bit more about like what is the extent of this particular ditch feature and like where in the UI should it follow in. I think we all as a team we worked through that, which was together, which is good. Yeah, man, it's important. It's important to me to stay vocal with. For me to stay vocal about like the concerns and like maybe the assumptions that I'm making because oftentimes I think I am making assumptions. Sometimes it's like part of the job. The most educated assumption. Chasing it. The exchange is meeting. Is that on the calendar? What is it? Which one is that? Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to show off some Catalyst stuff. Good practice for music. That'd be right. Exactly, dude. Exactly. And I'll do it on the real server and everything too. Prepare my talking because I'm gonna record it. Oh yeah. All right. Well, it's Jira bug world for me now. For now, the features are done. Polish. Buffing it up. Oh, mate, so freaking close, dude. So close. It's beautiful stuff. I mean, it's like looking at proto files that are actually ES6, not some like goopy, everything's imported file. It's like this is not just. It's sort of based on this library that some guy wrote that does the ES6 part, but I wrote all these Docker containers to sort of isolate the environments down, sort of create it all with shell scripts. That way it's like you're guaranteed that it's not going to change out from under you. But what's frustrating is that like this library is like the thing that was like it was like gRPC, JS, Protalk Gen. Please add ES6 export targets, and like the thread's like 3 years old, and someone's just said different stack, different side project that some guy had made, and then, like in theory it works, but fucking enums aren't included in the final output. It's so close. And there's a issue on it, and the guy's like, I fixed it with this thing, and what's like super annoying is like the npm package doesn't have his fix in it. I know. And so then I was like, okay, well, and I'll just take it. So it's like I'll just pull down master.js and like write it directly into the node modules folder, and I did that, and it still didn't work. So I was like, okay, well, like now I guess like there's his implementation, his fix isn't really a fix, and now I've got to pull down the source and like actually take our protos and like figure out his project. So, well, I'll be making a PR in his PR, and I mean, it's always how much of an issue this really is, and I think it'd be a nice thing to have. But it's like when I saw your list today about the list of priority stuff, like this is actually really quite far down on Q2. Oh yeah. Like here's the proto, and here's the ES6 version of it. Whee! So yeah. Oh wait. So here, yeah. So yeah, it's all good, right? But god darn it, simple command. All the enums are freaking missing. Motor power, and all that. And the gimbal proto right here, they're all defined. Gimbal type. So it's so close, but look how clean this is. It's like, oh, all relative pathing. You just have to like have this imported once. And you could have this imported in your actual web application, and it's not bundled in with all this code. So it's like so close. Yeah. We should. Here's the Docker file that I wrote, and then here's the scripts to call it all, but this is the hack that I was doing. I was like, all right, so if I just wget, just fucking bastard, get in there. But you call, oh man, it didn't work. I was so gutted. So, but here's the actual protop command, and you sort of pass in his plugin, which is just a JS file. Interesting. It's a shell script that calls a JS file with like env node, and you specify the out directory, the proto paths, and like here I'm just trying to render a gimbal to test it out. But if I do this, you basically run a find in the side of the directory and pass in like all the proto files to Protop that. It's such a weird API. I was like, when I figured this out some months back, I was like, that's really how you do it? You don't give it just like a glob path or whatever. Yeah, interesting. Oh man. All right, dude. Thanks for taking time. You too. Talk soon. Bye.